What's up, my friends? Caleb Maddox here. Welcome to another section inside of YTA. Today we're going to be talking about how to fund for free. Now this is a really exciting section because I know so many of you guys are watching this and you're very antsy to get your channel going. You're excited. You're anticipating that moment when your channel is fully automated. But a lot of you guys, you're just starting out. And you're trying to figure out, how do I do this the absolute most cost effectively? And you could fund it for free. That would be an absolute dream. That's what we're talking about today. And I have with me my business partner, Ryan.
I'm super excited to be here. I know for me, when I'm starting out things, like when I was starting out, having the ability to do stuff for free and figuring out creative ways to do it was always super fun and exciting. Yeah. And it takes a little bit more work up front, but there's always a way to do it.
And Ryan isn't just my business partner, but he's also my best friend. There's one thing I know about us, bro. We are scrappy.
We get creative.
When we're first starting out, we get creative and figure out ways to do it that most people would never
I remember
even
one
think
time,
of.
Caleb, I said, how many people do you have on your video editing team? This is like the very beginning.
Oh my goodness, that's
he's
so
like,
funny.
He's like, I got 25 people on my video editing team. I'm like, how'd you do that? He's like, and he went on this elaborate creative thing of how he got everyone to work and all this sort of stuff. Like, it was unbelievable. So we get creative.
So shout out to Team Impact if anybody from Team Impact is listening to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the 3 ways to fund for free. The first way to fund for free is this. We're going to be talking about how to get your team members to work for free on your first channel until it is profitable without taking on any debt or ripping anyone off even a little bit.
Guys, that's really important because there's a lot of ways people do stuff in the beginning where they just don't pay people or they trick people, and that's not what we want to do. We want to stay in full integrity the whole time. We want it to be a win-win-win for everybody, and that's what we're going to be showing you how to do.
And I've heard a lot of people, they'll say, Caleb, I got this person work for me for free. And I'm like, okay, but like, what are they getting out of it? And they're like, oh, they're not getting anything out of it. That's the best part is like, I got them to do it for free and I'm like, dude,
that just builds
that's
that
not the goal.
reputation.
What you want is you want to make sure everyone is winning. That is the biggest part for us throughout this entire thing. So all 3 of these ways, we are all winning. You're funding your channel for free. The people that are helping you create your channel and automating it are absolutely winning, and that's the goal. Okay, so for this first way, let's go ahead and dive into it. That's how to fund your channel for free on your first channel, how to get people to work for free until it is profitable without taking on any debt or ripping anyone off. Now guys, let's start off by talking about this. There's 2 ways to hire. There's the most basic way to hire, which everyone's familiar with, and that's you hire with money. So this is basically means you go to somebody and say, listen, if you edit a video, every single hour you edit this video for, I'm going to give you, let's say, $10. Or maybe you go and say, if you edit a video, I'm going to pay you, $50 per video, right? You hire with money. It's the basic way where people do a service and you exchange a set amount of money with them. But the way that you can do it the first way that you may never even thought of before is hiring with equity. Now, how does hiring with equity work, and what does that word equity even mean?
Guys, really, to put it simply, hiring with equity means you're basically just partnering with someone. You're giving them a percentage of your channel in return for them doing the work, in return for them editing the video. So literally, when you hear the word equity, just think of it simply, you're just partnering with someone. It's literally that simple.
That's all it means. So instead of going to someone and saying, listen, I'm going to pay you $100 for every single video you do, you go to them and say, listen, you create videos every single day, and I'll give you, let's just give an example, 40% of how much the channel makes. That's what equity is. It's you sharing profits with them. Then maybe saying, well, Caleb, does that mean that I have to pay more money? Because think about it. If it's $100 per video and I give them 40% of the channel and I'm making tens of thousands of dollars every single month, doesn't that mean I'm paying them way more money in the long run? Well, that's a part of it. I mean, that's a part of hiring with equity. The pro of it is there's no upfront cost. And the con is you obviously have to pay more later. And that's why it's better to hire with money if you can afford to. But if you need to fund for free, hiring with equity is a great option because you completely automate your channel for no upfront cost. I know a lot of people that say, well, Caleb, but they don't deserve it. It's only a $100 job they're doing. That's on the high end, $100 job to get the entire video done. I can get it lower, maybe $30 to $50. Like, why? They don't even deserve to do it. But guys, the truth is, if you are going to hire with equity, they're doing all the work and taking on the risk of never getting paid. So they deserve to get equity. I mean, think about it. They're doing all the work, and there's a chance, even if they do a video every single day for a month, they never make money. I mean, you guys ever heard that classic business analogy? They'll say, would you rather have 50% of a big pie or 100% of a small pie? Well, everyone always says they'd rather have 50% of the big pie because you get more pie, right? But the thing is with YouTube, would you rather have 50% of a big pie or no pie at all? Because with the team that you have, if they're not automating your videos, you don't have any channel whatsoever. So it's either you get 100% of no money or 50 or 40 or whatever percentage you end up working out of a lot of money.
And guys, a lot of times people in the beginning, they're so like, they want to keep it to themselves. They want to keep all the profits to themselves. They want to have 100% of their company. They want to have 100% equity in their channel. But the truth is, that's really short-term thinking because if you have no channel at all, there's nothing to go around. Like people get so caught up in the number rather than the actual end goal, which is making a profitable YouTube channel and being able to grow and scale. And especially in the beginning, when you're in the beginning, there's no reason to get super tight about it because you don't have a channel right now. Like you have nothing right now.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing is like, guys, when you're first starting out, what's important is don't be selfish. You know,
Yeah.
Ryan and I, we love to see other people win. And when you love to see other people win, like if the more people you help win, the more that you win. Now, obviously, in the beginning, if you can just pay team members, it's obviously better than giving them equity because you're giving a huge chunk. But in the beginning, if they are going to take on the risk and they have the risk of not getting paid and they're doing all of the work for you, just understand it's a win-win-win and they obviously deserve to be getting equity. So here's the question. How do you hire with equity? Maybe you're sitting there saying, this sounds like a fantastic thing. I'll go ahead and hire someone with equity. I'm going to use the profits of that and I'll go create a channel where I have 100%. But how do you do that? Well, the first step is you need to decide how much equity you're willing to give away and who to give it to. Now, personally, we recommend you give anywhere between 20 and 50% equity
guys,
in your channel.
It makes it a lot easier because a lot of people are like, I'm going to give away 3% equity. But guys, if you're going to have to talk to way more people to convince someone to do it. If you give someone a good chunk in the beginning, their goal isn't to make this millions of dollars on the first channel. The goal is to get enough money to where you can create a channel where you can just afford to hire out the team. And you want to do it as quickly as possible. So if you give someone 20 to 50%, they're much more likely to be incentivized and actually willing to do it.
Yeah, and if you give them 20 to 50%, like guys, that's what we found is like the good range between where you're making a lot of money, they're still incentivized. That just to us is the one that we personally recommend. Now, you may be saying, well, I want 40, I want 50, whatever it is, but I recommend anywhere between 20 and 50%. So let's say you do decide, let's say 40%. That's the most you want to go ahead and give away. Well, now you need to decide who you're going to give it to. Because remember, channels can sometimes take multiple people. So you may need to give multiple people equity that are doing different parts of the videos. So one person may be editing videos, and let's say you want to give away 30%. So maybe you give one person who's going to be editing videos, you give them 10%. But then you still need a thumbnail. So you give someone who's developing the thumbnails and creating the thumbnails, you give them 10%. And then maybe you need a voiceover. You go to them and you say, listen, I'll give you 10%. So now you have 3 different people that are all getting 10%. It's 30% total, but the entire channel is working efficiently. That's one way to do it. Or maybe you already know how to create the thumbnails, let's say. You know how to do it yourself, and all you need is a video editor. So all you have to do is just approach a video editor and say, listen, I know how to do this. You edit the videos, and I'll give you some equity. So maybe do a little bit less. Or maybe you can get one person to do all of it. I mean, I know there's some people, they know how to edit videos. They know how to do thumbnails. Maybe they got a good voice for voiceovers or whatever, like your niche is, whatever you need for your niche. Maybe you just get one person to do all of it, and you give them a little bit bigger piece of the pie. There's so many different ways to do it, but the first thing is how much do I want to give up, and then figure out what pieces you need in order for your channel to do, and split it amongst those two. And that brings us to step 2. And that's once you know who you need to get, how do you pique the interest of the leads who can get the job
Because again,
done?
especially, you don't want just to approach one person. You want to have lots of people to choose from because not everyone's going to be willing to work for equity instead of getting paid up front because maybe they need to pay the bills this month. So it's really going to depend who you get.
Even though you're making more money with
100%.
equity, it's more of a risk and you don't get paid day
100%.
one.
So you got to make sure you have leads coming in, and that's what we're going to talk about.
So where do you find the leads? Well, there's 2 great ways to this. Number 1, reach out to someone you know. Guys, I can almost tell you this, almost everybody listening to this right now. In fact, I'd venture to say everyone listening to this right now knows someone that knows how to create videos. It's just such a skill. Back in the day, you know, let's say 50 years ago, it was so difficult to create videos. That's why people got paid so much to do it. But now it's something that so many people around the world know. There's technologies for it. There's softwares for it.
There's
it's
free
cheap
softwares
to do.
for it.
Like there's so many different ways to edit videos, to create thumbnails, and so many people know how to do it. I mean, literally, there's 12-year-olds know how to do it, 20-year-olds know how to do it, 50-year-olds know how to do it. There's such a range. So one thing I would say is I would recommend reaching out to someone you already know.
That'd be my first choice, honestly. Like, there's all these other ways you can do it. You can go on LinkedIn, Facebook stuff. But like reaching out to someone you know is honestly one of the easiest ways because they already know you, they already trust you most likely, and it's super easy. And like I can think of 5-10 people I know personally who do video editing. I know Caleb knows a ton of people who do video editing, and it's just a really, really easy way to go about it.
And if you're gonna be partnering with someone, I personally, if this is ideal, and if you don't,
100%.
it still works. And I worked with a lot of video editors that aren't in person. But if you're gonna partner with someone on a channel, it is ideal that they are in your area. That way you can sit down with them and you guys can make sure you actually make this profit. Because when you're partnering with someone,
for the
you're
first
both
channel.
yeah, exactly. Especially for your first channel, you're both invested in making sure this works, and like it's a really cool collaboration. And also, maybe you don't know someone like that comes on top of your mind. You can ask people, hey, do you know anyone that edits videos? You guys can go ahead and post on social media. Hey, does anyone know how to edit videos? You can go to local college and go to the film class. There's so many different ways to do it. So that's the first thing. You can reach out to somebody you know, or you can go ahead and just create a job post on multiple different platforms. And even like, for example, you can go on LinkedIn, right? You can go search video editors, and you can send messages to people on LinkedIn.
And thousands pop up. Like,
There's so many options of people that you'll see on LinkedIn. Same thing with Facebook. You can go type in by occupation. You do Photoshop. People that know how to do Photoshop and do graphic design, so they can create the thumbnails. And you go to them and you say, listen, you reach out to them and say, listen, I'm looking to hire someone to do graphic design. Are you interested? Or I'm looking to hire someone for video editing. You can go to Fiverr. You can go to Upwork. You can post job posts on there, and you can say, listen, I need someone to get this done. And there's so many different things you guys can do nowadays in order to actually get leads. But the important thing is, if you are going to create a job post, you need to make sure you do it as if you're hiring someone.
Yeah,
Don't go on there. Go ahead.
Because if you basically go out there and you say, you put a post on a job post, like, I'm giving away 40% equity in my YouTube channel in return for XYZ, you're going to scare so many people off because most people, they're used to traditional things and people like safety. They like to feel safe. So it's much better just to create a job post saying, hey, I'm hiring someone to do this job, and you say whatever job you're needing to do, whether it be video editor or thumbnail creator, and then you'll get a ton of leads, tons of people applying and doing, and you'll have way more people that you can approach and talk to.
Because if you go just post like, hey, I'm giving away equity in my channel, they're gonna be like, what? Like, what do you mean channel? How do I make money from
He's
a
just
channel?
trying to get me to work for free.
Yeah, he's just trying to get me to work for free. There's so many thoughts like, what if it doesn't work? There's so many thoughts like that. What you're better off doing is just posting a normal job review, and that brings us to step 3. And then you just set up a phone call or in-person meeting with the top candidates, and then you pitch them. Like, that's the next step. Like, you get on with them, and you want to make sure, like, whether it's in-person meeting because it's someone you know, whether it's a phone call because you have, like, applications from Fiverr and stuff like that, you need to make sure you can actually explain them because this is no longer just you hiring someone. This is someone you're partnering with, and you want to make sure you're on the exact same page and that you all know everything about how it works and they fully know how YouTube automation works and all of that good stuff because you're partnering and want to make sure this isn't just something where you say, I'm going to pay you this much. Like, it's like this is a real partnership, and they need to fully understand it to see the value. You need to make sure they fully understand it so they can execute it. So that's the next step. Set up a phone call or in-person meeting.
Simple.
Now, here's how I would personally pitch them, because this is what we were wondering. Like, if we just tell you, go pitch them, like, a lot of people are gonna be like, what do I say? Like, how do I approach them? And then I was just kind of thinking, like, how would I do that? So I was just thinking about all these theoretical things and thinking about everything with sales, and I just simplified it. I said, you know what? If I were to pitch someone on partnering with me with YouTube automation on a faceless channel, what would I do? So I literally just thought, okay, let's imagine me 4 years ago. And let's say that I was just this young dude and he just wants to get YouTube automation working, but I had no money up front. I was just getting started out. Like, what would I do? And I thought, well, back then, the first person I would have thought of is my good friend Carlton. One of my good friends, Carlton, back then, he knows how to edit videos. He knows how to create thumbnails. He's a pro at creating videos. He literally could have done all aspects of the channel, so he would have been absolutely ideal. So I was thinking, okay, if I had Carlton in mind, I knew what lead I was going to go for. I knew the person that could get the job done. What would I do? Well, the first thing I would do is I would send him the YTA presentation beforehand so that he would have context. Because I don't want to sit down with him and him have no clue anything about YouTube automation, no clue anything about faceless channels. I don't want him to just like look at that and be like, oh, I have no clue what's going on here. Like, I want him, when I sit down, he already has a good understanding of what's going on. That way I don't have to completely pitch him this new thing and let him know about this new thing. And plus, Ron and I, and the presentation you guys have already watched, and by the way, we're going to put the presentation inside of Fund for free. That way you can send it to potential candidates. But like, we know how to explain YouTube automation better than you if you just kind of just now joined, right? We understand it. We know Devin. Devin knows how to explain it. So we have this down. So we figured, why don't you guys just send them the YTA presentation beforehand?
Yep, exactly.
That way you guys...
Especially they'll go into the meeting excited, right? Because a lot of times you're like, hey, I have an opportunity. People get like, oh, what's this? But if you send like this, and it's a friend of yours, they'll be excited going to the meeting. They'll be like, this is a cool opportunity, and you'll be working together on something rather than you trying to pitch them on something.
And that's really, really important. Is like they go in just as antsy, just as excited as you are. And then when I did meet him, I sat down with him. I would recap the opportunity. I'd make sure like we all get on the exact same page. I would see if he has any more questions. I would explain how YouTube pays you. I would explain the basics of how faceless channels work. And I also explain to him how you can use OPC. Now, he would understand a decent amount about this because he already watched the presentation, obviously. But I would just recap. And I feel like one of the really important ones is that third one right there. I would really, really share with them how you can use OPC. Because one of the things when you're hiring someone with equity is, what if this channel doesn't work?
And because they're taking on all the risk. For them, they should be getting paid for the work they're doing. So if this channel doesn't make money, for you, it's like, oh, no big deal. But for them, like, they did all this work and they didn't get paid. And for most people, they feel like YouTube is luck. And when you explain that you're using OPC and you're not just guessing, but you're modeling proven things, it'll make them feel safe. And when they feel safe, that's when they're going to want to work with you.
Because as you guys know, OPC takes YouTube from being a luck and a hope into a true science and formula. And if they understand that, they're going to feel a lot more safe in the decision to partner with you. And then the next thing I would say, once he understands about this, he's seen the presentations, I explain him a little bit, I would literally just sit down and I would say, listen, I invested in YTA, and by the way, he'll know about YTA, he'll know about the masterclass. Whoever you sit down with will know about the masterclass.
They'll give a really good pre-frame for the meeting.
They'll understand it completely. And I'd say, listen, I invested in YTA, and I'm officially certified in YTA. And by the way, this is really, really exciting. I don't even know if you guys know this. If you're in this masterclass right now, and you're hearing my voice, and you hear the words that I'm saying, you are officially certified in YTA. You can now say that I am an expert at YTA. I understand how YouTube automation works. It's almost like a doctor. You know how they'll go to school for a really, really long time, and once they're done, they're like, I am officially a doctor. That's how I feel. You guys are pros at YouTube automation, and I would tell them that. I would say, listen, this isn't just something where I just had this idea. I'm sitting down, and I've learned, and I'm a master now at And I've learned from a teacher that's done this multiple times over, and I'm a master of actually creating faceless YouTube channels that become profitable. Now, I know if I would have sat down and told him this would ease him so much more, because he knows this isn't just some theory.
Exactly.
This is something that's really proven. Real people have gotten results. Devin's got results. His students have gotten results. And a lot of people around the world are getting results as a result of YTA. And then once that happened, I would explain that I'm looking to partner with someone to create the videos, and I'm giving them equity in my channel. I would say, listen, I go through YTA. I understand how this process works. I need someone to fill in the blank. Maybe it's edit videos. Maybe it's create thumbnails. Maybe it's edit the videos and create thumbnails. Maybe it's the voiceover. Whatever it is, obviously we said that in step 1 is decide what you need. But I'd explain, listen, I need the videos edited, and I'm looking to partner with someone with this channel. That's what I'm looking for.
And I would approach it more with the approach of, I'm looking to partner with someone because I want them to be incentivized. I want them to be a part of this thing, rather than I can't afford anyone, so I'm doing this to try to get someone to work for free. Like, don't go in with like, I can't afford this, I need someone to work for free, so I'll give you equity in my channel. It should be like, hey, I'm doing this channel, it's been proven to work, and I want to get someone equity who's a really good fit for the channel because I want them to be incentivized with
Yeah,
me.
and I think that's really important, Ryan. It's like exactly what you said. Don't go in saying, oh, I can't afford this, or I'm trying to save money right now. You really should go in saying, listen, I understand YTA, I'm certified, I just don't know how to edit videos. So I said, you know what, why don't I partner with someone that has this skill? I'm going to take my skill of knowing how to create faceless channels, and we're going to come together and create something really, really great. And then I would go on to tell him that I'm talking with a bunch of other people about this, and would basically have him sell me on why he should partner. Now, this is a really, really important thing right here. I would basically go in and I would listen. I would not sit there and say, listen, dude, I really need your help on this, or I'm sitting down and talking to you. I would let him know that I have a bunch of other options, because I don't want him thinking that he's my only chance, and if he doesn't say yes, then I'm not going to be able to do YouTube automation. I would just say, I thought of you, and out of all the people I'm going to be talking to, I thought I'd go ahead and sit down with you. And here's the real key, guys. You want them selling you, not the other way around. This one right here is a very, very important principle. If you guys are taking notes, make sure to write this down. And what I would do is I'd go into Carlton, I would literally basically say, why do you feel like you'd be a good fit to be my partner? And this is the real key. When you go in, don't be thinking, I have to make this work. Remember, there are tons
You guys have
of options.
so many options. Like, if this person says no, you have a million other people to talk to. It's no big deal.
There's literally thousands and thousands of other people that could do the exact same thing that the person that you're having this meeting with could do. So if they say no, it's no big deal. You move on to the next one. And see, that is your power. That is what makes you. It's kind of like in a job interview. You know how if the boss is the person hiring that candidate who wants this job, who has more power? The boss who can say yes or no, or the candidate who's trying to prove themselves? It's going to be the boss every single time. It's the exact same way with this. You see, you are the person that's deciding whether or not you want to partner with this person. They have a chance to make a lot more money than they would if you just hired them. They have the chance to have equity in something that's unreal. And if they knew about YouTube automation, if they could do it on their own, they would have done it on their own by now. They need your skill of YTA. They need what you have, which is knowing about how to do YTA. You're being a part of this YouTube masterclass, and you guys are honestly giving them one of the biggest opportunities they've ever received. So go into it with that mindset and understand, just because they're going to be doing a lot of the work, and you may be saying, well, okay, what am I bringing to the table? If they're doing all the work and they're taking on the risk, then what am I bringing? Guys, you're bringing on the skill of knowing how to do it. You know how to create automated videos.
If they're not putting their time, then I'm not valuable, right? Your time's the only thing that's valuable. But guys, that's just not the case. In fact, you look at Jeff Bezos, who's the CEO of a giant company. He's not doing nearly as much work as other people. But guys, he's the one who founded the company. He's the one who understood where the company was going.
Because people say all the time, they'll be like, if Jeff Bezos, if he has 100,000 employees, why is he making so much more money than them, even though sometimes they might work more hours or do harder jobs or something like that? It's because Jeff Bezos set the vision. He has the skill. He knows how to operate it. He knows where it should go. He came up with the ideas. He has the vision behind it, and you're the exact same way. You know how YouTube automation works, and their skill without you, they're not going to be profiting as much as they now get to, because you're giving them equity
100%.
in your channel. Now, here's another big question people are going to be asking. They're going to say, well, what if after my channel, they start a channel on their own? Like, what if they go out and they learn it? Because now the one thing that makes me valuable is I understand how to create YouTube automation. Now they'll fully understand how to do that. Now they'll know everything that's inside of the masterclass. What if they go start a channel on their own? Let's take a breath together, guys. That's okay. In fact, that's what you want. You want them to go out and do this on their own afterwards, because the next channel you're going to start, you don't want to give away equity. Why would you give them so much? Now all you have to do is just go hire your own virtual team.
You're doing this in the first place is just to get this first channel working. That way you have enough to hire another team and do other channels. That's literally it.
Like, that's the goal. In fact, this is one of the best selling points to this person is, listen, I would tell Carlton, if Carlton was the person I was reaching out to, I'd say, listen, man, after you're done with this channel and once this thing's cranking,
not only get 50% of the profits.
Yeah, not only you get 50% of the profits, but you can also start and use this skill to create multiple channels on your own. My goal is that you win and I win, and after this, we both can go on to create massively profitable channels.
And
even
one thing
after
that's crazy
this.
is, even with, you might be thinking like, what if when I do hire a team, they go off and do it on their own? And after all my years in doing stuff and hiring tons of people, I know Caleb too, I've never once had this happen with any employee.
And the truth is, guys, even if they do, let's say they do go start on their own, there's 1.8 trillion views a year on YouTube, guys. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's enough views to go around. I'm telling you guys, there's no such thing as competition on YouTube. If they go start a channel and they post very similar videos to you, you're still going to have enough views to be able to make actual money from YouTube. So that's just an important thing, guys. Even if they go start on their own, you want them to afterwards. But even if they do, it doesn't matter because there's 1.8 trillion views and growing. And trust me, there's enough views on YouTube for you to make money. Now, maybe someone will care. Once I get them to agree, because you're doing math in your head and you're like, listen, I'm going to get someone to agree if I do this the correct way. What do I do once I get them to agree? When they say, I'm going to get this percentage, I'm going to get this percentage, and we know where we're going, what's the next step? For us personally, we do handshake agreements.
And the reason we do that, guys, it's just so much easier. It's so much simpler. And especially when you're just getting started out, you're just doing this on one channel. You're not doing 1,000 agreements. You're just doing 1 or 2 agreements with the people who are creating the videos for you. It's so much simpler. It's so much simpler for your life. It makes it so much not complex. And guess what? With agreements, it works almost every single time. We've never really had anyone rip us off. We refuse to rip anyone else off. Like, it's super, super simple. And, like, it's just the easiest way to go about it.
100%. And if you're starting out, that would be the number one thing I would recommend to you guys. Because, like, even something like Ryan just said, like, a little while ago before we were creating this, is he was like, dude, even if someone did break the handshake agreement, you wouldn't want to work with them anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're going to have problems down the road. In fact, you want them to go do this on their own, go get someone else, scale it up, and then create your team. That's the real goal, guys. You only need to get this working one time. Like, I'm telling you, I've done so many handshake agreements with super, super huge established people, and then also with brand new people that I never really connected with. I've done pure handshake agreements. I've never had one violate it, which is unbelievable to think. But let's say you guys do want to do a contract. Guys, there's a ton of free sites to do that. Nowadays, you can go online, you can look up contract templates, you can go and plug and play, put in what percentages are getting what, who's doing what, and then you can create very simple contracts. If you do want to do it that way, we personally recommend you do a handshake agreement, especially since it's only for one channel. If you were becoming, like Ryan and I, we're doing business partnerships, and we're going, which by the way, we did start with a handshake agreement, but I'm just saying, if you were to do a contract, it would make sense if it was for Ryan and I. We're doing these massive companies, we're creating multiple things, but like,
just to get your first
you're just doing
working?
a channel. Like it's not even for all the future channels you're going to be doing. So guys, we'd recommend you personally do handshake agreements. Now, as good of an opportunity as this is, one thing to know is obviously most people usually won't say yes. That's the thing to understand. Like, even though this is a fantastic opportunity, it is a no-brainer. And if someone in their right mind heard even half of how great this opportunity is and what the opportunity you're giving them, if they heard it, they would say yes. There's going to be a lot of people that will say no.
Most people pass over opportunities because they're scared, right? Like, it's not the normal thing. They're not getting paid up front. And as obvious as it might seem to you, because you're someone who's a part of this, you're someone who's in YTA and you're building this, and that's how you think. You have more entrepreneurial type mindset. Other people, they have this very limited mindset, just be like, I got to stay in safety. I got to do what I've been told I need to do. And so, like, even if you approach someone with the best opportunity ever, right? Like, it's the most unbelievable deal for them, and it truly is. Like, it's so good of a deal, you don't even want to do it in the future. They're still going to be like, I've never heard this before. That's a no for me. And that's okay. Most people are going to say yes up front, but you only need one yes to get your channel started for free. You only need one yes to fund your channel for free. And there's so many people. Like I said, there's video editors, there's thumbnail creators, there's people out there. Like, there's so much more than you could ever possibly even approach and talk to. So don't even worry when you get a no.
And by the way, Ryan, I like that you said it's such a good deal, you're not even going to do this in the future. That's the truth, guys. When you realize this deal is so good,
you're doing
you
the
only
exact
are going to do it to
opposite of
start.
ripping people off.
You're doing the exact opposite of ripping people off. And then at that point, you realize it's literally just a numbers game. If you talk to enough people, one will say yes, guaranteed. So if the first person says no, the second person says no, the third person says no, and some of you guys on your first one, you are going to get a yes. But if they continue to say no, one person, that's all you need in order to say yes.
A lot of people are like, there's no way I can fund my channel for free. It's like, guys, if you talk to, let's go on the crazy ridiculous, let's say you're terrible at talking to people and like you don't even understand YouTube automation yourself that well, and you go and you talk to 100 people, one of them's going to say yes. Like, it's impossible not to get a yes if you ask enough people. And the good news is with the internet, even if all the people you know who do video editing, they say no, there's infinite more people on the internet who you can reach out to. You can reach out to 100 people a day easily. And to not get one, honestly, you're just not trying at that point.
So guys, if you guys follow the formula we just broke down, it will be easy to get team members to work for free on your first channel until it is profitable without taking on any debt or ripping anyone off. even a little bit. And if I was you guys and this is the route you guys want to take, I would watch this section over and over and over and over again, obsessing on it, continue to it, because don't forget, what gets repeated gets remembered. Now I would make sure to be hearing this over and over and over again, because we just literally laid out exactly how we would get people to work for free when we're first on the channel.
I would say the biggest thing is
for free.
just know that it's a numbers game, right? Like, even if you don't have the pitch nailed down perfectly, but you just approach enough people, you're going to get someone to say yes.
Now let's go ahead and hop on to step 2, or the second way to fund your channel for free. And that's this. You have someone fund your channel for you, so you don't have to take on any of the risk personally. That's the second one we're talking about today.
The second one is, here's how you're going to do that. You're going to give them equity in return in the channel in return for them funding the upfront cost for you. So literally, it's the exact same thing as with getting someone to hire, but you're going to go to someone who has money up front, and they're going to pay for the team for you. So you're going to give them equity in return for them funding the channels in the very beginning, just until it's profitable, and then you'll use the profits from the channel to continue funding the channel. And the first step you do that is you're going to prepare for the pitch, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to know exactly what you're going to say before you go in. You got to know what niche you're going to go into.
Truly being prepared, because if you're going to get someone that actually invests in your channel, that's going to bet with you on the money that they worked hard to actually earn. Like, don't forget, like, if they're investing real money and they're investing in your channel and fronting the cost for you, they're taking on a big risk, and it took them a lot to actually get there. So at least have the respect to be very, very prepared before you go in.
When you're hiring someone, it's a lot easier to say, oh, we're going to create these videos and you're going to get a percentage of it. But with an investor, they are really, really careful with their money. They're really, really safe with their money, and they want to make sure what they're investing in, the money's not going to go away. So you don't need to just understand YouTube automation, but you need to know what niche you're going to go into. You need to figure out how much it's going to cost to make the videos. Like, you already put up a job posting, and you know how much the videos are going to cost, so you can tell them how much it's going to cost to get started.
Because that's key. If someone approached me to invest in a YouTube automation channel, and they were just like, you know, yeah, I need you to fund my team, I'd be like, well, how much am I going to spend? If they didn't know, I would immediately be like, no, like, you don't know how much your team is. Like, go in knowing what it's going to cost to make videos. If you approach an investor saying, listen, it's going to be $1,500 a month to be able to produce a video every single day inside of this niche, I'd have a lot of respect for that as an investor.
Yeah, like, literally, if you know your details, the more details you know about your channel, your niche, the better. You're like, here's the similar channels in my niche that are getting this many views. If they're getting this CPM, they're making this much money. Like, do your research and be like, hey, here's the proven model. You show them other channels that are working. Here's what I'm creating. Here's how much it's going to cost what I'm creating. And if I get this many views or whatever, I'm going to be profitable and you're going to make money. So step number 2 is putting together a list of everyone who could potentially invest in your channel. Because you're like, guy, I don't know any investors. How do I get someone to invest in my channel? And the truth is, anyone can be an investor. That's one thing you got to know. Like, I know people who've literally raised millions of dollars from just their friends and family that they had no clue was even possible for starting companies. And you can do the exact same thing with your channel. You can reach out to people like friends, family, people you know, people that you can reach out to. You can ask friends and family if they know anybody. Literally, you just have to get creative. You got to start asking people. You got to start asking around until you find one person who can do it.
A lot of people say, what does it take to succeed? And my answer is always whatever it takes.
Literally.
Like, that's the truth. Like if me personally, I was starting out and I wanted to get someone to fund my channel, I'd be talking to everyone about this opportunity. Because understand,
tell everybody.
For an investor or for someone, let's even just take away the word investor, because the only reason we're saying investor is because any human being who invests in your channel, they're now an investor. But like, don't even think of it as an investor. Any person that has money and is thinking about investing, there's really no opportunity to invest in that is as great.
You
as
can talk to someone in a coffee shop. Literally, if this is the route you're going, and you decide that, I would obsess on it. Every single human you meet, you tell about YouTube automation, you tell about what you're doing, and you see if they're a potential investor.
Until you get someone to invest.
If this is the route you're going,
and it can only take you 24 hours of obsession, by the way. If you do it the right way and you go out and you talk to as many people as possible. Now, it could take a week, could take 24 hours. It really depends on the time frame and who you end up talking to. But once again, it's a numbers game. If you talk to enough people, you're eventually going to get someone
100%. That's exactly it. It's a numbers game. And if you talk to enough people, you're going to get someone to invest. And you're not trying to raise $1 million. It's not like you're trying to raise $1 million for some startup that might not work. You're raising $1,500 maybe for something that's a proven model, and it's not that hard to do if you reach out to enough people and you present it the correct way.
And you're YTA certified.
You're YTA certified. And step number 3, you're going to schedule a meeting with them and pitch them. So as many meetings as you can create, you're going to schedule them with all that list of people that you did. You're going to set up meetings and you're going to say, hey, I have a really cool opportunity for you, and you set up a meeting and you're going to pitch them. And it's really important that you're not just like texting them or like writing them an email about it, but you sit down and you have a meeting with them, whether it's virtual, over the phone, or you sit down with them in person. Like, it's so
if you're meeting with your grandma, you go over to grandma's house, you have her bake you some cookies, and you sit down in person and talk to her.
All right, so here's how you're going to pitch them. When you finally do get them in front of you, you schedule the meeting, you had that list of people, what you're going to do is you're going to explain YouTube automation, right? Because they can't invest in it unless they know what YouTube automation is. And you're going to talk about the entire concept of YouTube automation, and you're going to make it seem super simple, and you're going to make it seem proven, right? You're going to tell them about how proven it is and how you're using OPC to make sure you're not just guessing, but you're actually doing something that's proven to work, and you're modeling that. Then you're going to explain that you bought the YouTube that you bought YTA and are certified. then you're going to explain that the niche you're going to explain.
And by the way,
niche you
being able to
chose.
explain that you bought YTA and are certified is so cool because you guys can go through the results that Devin's gotten. You guys can go through the results that Devin Soon's gotten and say, listen, this is who I'm learning from.
Exactly.
This is real results. This isn't just some concept. This isn't just some business idea. These are real results. And guys, that's something that's so key is being able to approach people with results. For example, me and Ryan had a meeting with an investor that has an $8 billion fund. And one of the number one things that got his attention is the fact that we had results in the past. And when you're first starting out, it can be hard to actually approve results. I mean, if you guys didn't have YTA and you're just approaching someone saying, I'm going to upload videos on YouTube and make money, it'd be difficult. But now that you have YTA, now that you are certified, now that you have testimonials
You have
and
our
credibility
results
to back you
behind
up.
you.
Yeah, you have our results behind you. You guys can leverage that. And in fact, I encourage you, if you sit down with someone and say, look at these results, this is who I'm learning from, and I'm going to duplicate this exact same formula.
And then I would go on to explain the niche you chose and how other people are getting millions of views and making money in that niche, right? Because if someone invests in you, they don't want you to be some random YouTube channel uploading videos and they're like, what is this thing? But you say, hey, I'm modeling this channel and I'm creating these videos and this channel is getting millions and millions of views and they're making on, and you say maybe they're making, you estimate it, right? Say maybe they're making 20 grand a month. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing that they're doing and I'm gonna get the same result that they're gonna
Yeah,
do.
I'm gonna tell you, if you guys approach them with even just these first three things,
Literally.
they're gonna know that you guys are coming prepared. You guys are the real deal. Like when you approach them, if someone approached me with these three things, I'd be like, listen, I don't even fully understand this. It's not that much money. Personally, I'd be like, you know what? You seem like you know what you're talking about. I'm just gonna give you the money. Because that's how prepared you're coming. If you have results behind you, you know what niche you're going into. You know what your team costs. I would trust that person because they're coming prepared, not just with an idea, but with real backing.
And then after that, once you explain all that, then you're just going to explain your proposal to them. It's super simple. And explain your proposal might look something like this, right? If you fund the channel in the beginning, I'll give you 100% of revenue up until you make your investment back, plus 50% of profits from the entire channel forever. And I will do all the work. Literally, I will hire the people. I will figure out what videos to create. I will make sure the niche, we're in the right niche. I'll
Guys,
do
one of the
everything
things I would
outside
do
of YouTube.
as a bonus of joining YTA, you also get something called maximum wage. And I don't know if you guys have already gone through this. It's in maximum wage. It's called the maximum wage mentality. Inside of this exact same membership site, it's here. I would go into the membership site and click on the video called the Prestige Portrayal. It's somewhere in the middle of maximum wage mentality, and watch that video.
100%.
Because before you go in, it's important that you guys have, it's not even with what you say, it's how you say it. If you go in and say, listen, if you fund the channel in the beginning, I'll give you 100% of revenue because you deserve it until you make your investment back. Plus, I'm gonna give you 50% of the profits from the entire channel forever, and I will do all the work for you. And then you just get serious. Like at this point, I would just go on. I'm gonna do all
Dead
the work for you.
serious.
I'm gonna hire all the people. I'm gonna create the videos. I'm gonna make sure they go viral. I'm going through YTA 6
I'm
times
obsessing on
over.
this niche. I'm studying every single video in this niche. I know what goes viral in this niche and what doesn't, and I'm going to model it to a T.
I'm talking to people in the in this niche that have the biggest channels. I'm having one-on-one conversation with them. I'm going to make sure to get your money back, and I'm going to promise you this, sir. I'm going to treat it like it's more my money than even is your money. I'm going to treat your money safer than I'd even treat my own. If someone goes in and says that to me,
I'm like, wow.
I'm way more likely to do it. So, guys, I do encourage you guys, go into the Prestige Portrayal.
And remember, the reason most of the time people invest is because of the person, not because of the opportunity, right? I'm
That's
much more
so
likely.
true.
I'm much more likely to invest in a person who's driven, who I think is going to do the hard work, who I know is going to treat my money as if it's their own, who's going to do whatever it takes to make this work, who I think is honest, who I think is trustworthy, than someone who doesn't have all those things but has a way better opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. That's so true.
And then at the end of the presentation, after you pitch them, some people, they might be in immediately. And if they're not and they want more information, one thing you can do is you can send them the YTA presentation if they want more information. Because a lot of times investors are going to go, this is awesome. Where can I learn more about this?
Because that's a big thing. Like every single time someone's approached me with an investment, I rarely make a snap decision. Now you will have some people that do, but a lot of times I want to know, all right, send me some more information. And if guys, you send them the YTA presentation, they'll completely understand this. Even in there, we talk a little bit about how you can invest, how this is, how you're investing in assets, and we kind of explain how it's kind of like real estate investing. So if you want to show them the presentation afterwards or even beforehand, depending on how you want to do it,
yeah,
that is also a super awesome option.
And one other thing I think is really important to bring up is follow up. So many times people, they don't get a yes immediately, so they think it's a no. But if you follow up and you follow up and you keep following up, and then when you get a maybe and they say, hey, can you send me more information? You send them more information. And
don't you
just
guys
keep
see how if you
following
guys
up.
do this like to 10 people, don't you guys see how there's really good odds that someone's going to invest?
Really good odds.
You guys
they're
show
gonna
them the
invest.
presentation, you show them that you're certified, you explain the niche, you come at them with the right portrayal. Guys, listen, we're literally giving you guys everything. We're giving you guys the fact that you can be certified. We're giving you guys the presentation. We're giving you guys even a video inside of the mentality on the Prestige Portrayal. That way you show up the right way. That's our goal, is to fully equip you. And I'm telling you guys, now that you're equipped, it's almost impossible that you fail. Okay, so let's go and get into the third way to fund for free. Now this one's very obvious, but we want to break down an even more simple way to do this, and that's that you make the videos yourself. Yes, you can hire an investor. Yes, you can hire with equity. But let's say in the beginning, you don't even want to hire a team. You don't want to approach anyone. You just want to make the videos off the bat. Now, some of you guys, you may know how to edit a little bit, which would be super fantastic. Some of you guys may not know how to edit that much, and that's great too, because we can kind of show you guys how. But let's go and just share the easiest ways for you to make the videos yourself. Step one is you want to pick a niche with the least amount of editing.
Guys, honestly, this is the most important part, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm going to make the videos myself. And then they pick some niche where you have to have animated videos, and then they're trying to figure out how to do animation, and it's this long, complicated process. But guys, the simplest way to do editing yourself is figure out where do I need to do the least amount of work and get the highest amount of results.
That's so true. Even in fact, our cousin Brian, I mean, it's Ryan's cousin, like blood-wise.
It's both of our cousins.
He's my cousin too, because we're so close. But anyway, he created a channel, and he's literally got it to the place where he can edit the videos himself within 30 minutes because of the niche he chose. I'm talking rendering, like all that stuff. It's done within 30 minutes because he chose a specific niche. Now, one thing I would actually encourage you guys to do, and some of this is actually YouTube encourages this, you can do this, and that's curated content. This is one of the easiest ways to do it. Instead of you creating the videos, like you can literally take clips from long interviews that people had, take 5 minutes of it, come up with a really creative title, and you just go ahead and re-upload that. There's ways to take content that's
maybe
already
add some
been
music
created
behind it, you know, like super simple. You don't need to have some crazy long script with this crazy long voiceover and then this super complicated editing. You can make it super simple. And guys, remember, the biggest part is the thumbnail and the title. And if you focus on those two things and you make content that's good, that keeps people captivated, but isn't anything crazy, you're gonna get results.
So I would encourage you guys, and also don't forget, Devin showed you guys inside of the masterclass. He shows you guys how to create the videos yourself, how to do the basic editing, all of that. But for those of you who's like, listen, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna encourage you guys, find a niche where it doesn't take that much effort, and also make sure that if you want, try to go ahead and look for some curated content that's already made and curate it yourself or re-upload it.
Guys, and especially if you're starting out and you're gonna edit the videos yourself, don't just pick a niche quickly. Go in depth, do tons and tons and tons of research, spend 5 times more time doing research than you would plan on doing till you find the most replicatable channel that takes the least amount of work.
Go into the niches. If you guys got that extra bonus of being a part of YTA, go into the niches and find the one that Devin talks about that has the absolute least amount of editing. There's so many gold mines of videos that literally, you don't even really have to edit. They don't have to be creative. And a lot of people,
if you just go on YouTube and you see what has views, you'll start going through stuff and you'll find stuff that you could easily edit yourself.
And that's so true too. Is like go to the ones that have the most views. But like what I find a lot of times is people, they'll go pick niches that have this insane amount of editing, and you have to do these special effects with text, and you have to make sure to have B-roll. Like guys, there's literally niches that if you guys go on YouTube, you just literally scroll. Which by the way, it's super cool because YTA Masterclass made scrolling through YouTube, it's now profitable, which is exciting news. But scroll through YouTube and like click on videos and say, I can edit that. I can edit that. And if they have lots of views and you can edit that, then just create them yourselves. All right, that brings us to step 2. Edit the videos with a cheap or free software. Now, one of the things we find is people go and they try to find the most expensive software ever. But the truth is, guys, there were literally free software.
Simple videos. If you guys are making simple videos, you picked a niche that doesn't take some crazy editing. You can download iMovie for free if you have Mac, or Lightworks if you have a PC, and just edit the videos, splice them together, and you're good to go. It's that simple.
And once again, to be completely real with you guys, and this is something I want to tell you guys, and take this with a grain of salt and understand like where I'm coming from with this. The videos that you're uploading to start don't have to be that perfect.
Yeah,
they really don't. If you use free software, say something like iMovie, that's great for Mac, Lightworks, which is great for Windows and stuff like that. If you follow the third step, and step 3 is make really good thumbnails and titles, you're gonna go viral. That's the truth. So like in the beginning, maybe the editing, even though it's not absolutely perfect, this insane thing, maybe you should do really simple editing. You make sure the thumbnails and titles are super, super catchy, super good. Use OPC. Those videos are going to go viral, and you can use the profit from those videos to go create a team that creates the best videos ever. But to start, if I'm in it myself, I'm not going to create the most perfect videos ever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make money off of really good thumbnails, really good titles with simple videos, and I'm going to use that to create a team that can create really good videos.
It's so much better if you're uploading a video every day that's super simple, not the best video in the world, than if you're absolutely going ham and you make it perfection and you only can upload once a week. It's so much better if you can just do every single day good videos rather than great videos once a week or once a month.
In fact, I'm actually really close friends. Ryan, you've never heard this story before, I don't think. I'm really close friends with someone who has one of the number one motivational channels. I think it was the number one at the time. The number one motivational YouTube channels on the planet. And he was uploading a video every single day that was super motivational. And I found out about him because he reached out to me and he wanted to do a piece on me and upload a video. And every single video he uploaded was getting millions and millions of views. Like millions of views that he was uploading every single day. And of course I was like, I'm 100% down to do that. He said, awesome, we'll go and do this in like a month. He said, reach back out to me. So that sounded like a plan. I reached back out to him in a month, and I went to his channel. I was like, yo, bro, like let's do a piece, let's do a video. I know you reached out to me. Let's just create a video. I'll record some audio for it. It'll be fire. He said, yeah, bro, the thing is I'm only actually going once a week now rather than every single day. He said, I realized my videos were okay, but I decided I'm going to go all in every single week. I'm going to do one video that's really, 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 really good, and that way it goes way, way more viral. And he said, so check in with me like a week since I'm posting less videos. I'm going to delay it a little bit more. So I checked in like 2 weeks or whatever it was, and then I said, yo, dude, let's do a video. And he said, yo, bro, he's like, I did the 1 week thing. It wasn't really working that well because I wasn't uploading that much, and the content wasn't really that great. So he said, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to go ahead and upload this unbelievable video every single month. He said, it's going to be movie quality. And he literally hired a team to where the B-roll was literally only shot by him. The footage was completely by him. He hired people for the narration, so he didn't curate any content. It wasn't like some Muhammad Ali quote. Like, it was like he would go get celebrities to do really, really big pieces, and he would blow them up. He was like, we're going to do this once a month. And he uploaded once a month. Guys, he went from getting millions of views every single day to where he would upload once a month, and they were getting like 60,000 views each. He was spending way more money on the videos. The videos were way better. They were way more motivational. The editing was unreal. It was this unbelievable thing. It cost him thousands of dollars per video, and literally he was getting more views when the videos were kind of like good motivational videos. He was uploading every single day. He was getting more videos every single day then than he was getting all month when he was uploading once a month. Anyway, just thought I'd share that story with you guys real quick and just show you guys the importance of uploading every single day. The videos don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be unbelievable. The real key is that they're good to where people like them. The thumbnails are unreal and the titles are great. And that's really, really what matters, especially when you're starting out. And then once you have the money, you can create a team that makes sure every single day you're having high quality videos uploaded every single day. But to start, you can use some simple editing softwares like Lightworks and iMovie and really put attention to the thumbnail. And guys, there's tons of free programs for the thumbnail. I mean, there's one that I can think of that I've edited a ton of thumbnails with, which is Canva. You can get really, really creative with it. It's completely free. You can create thumbnails that go massively viral. In fact, I have friends that have really viral channels and they create all of their thumbnails with Canva. Now, eventually, obviously, you're going to get into Photoshop and other stuff. But to start, guys, you can start off with Canva, and then the moment you can, all you have to do, the moment you can afford
Super
to,
simple.
just outsource it, guys.
Like, guys, the only reason you're doing fund for free is just until you don't have to fund for free.
Yeah, because like you may say, well, Caleb, it's free. Like, we have a friend that has this massive, massive YouTube channels. He has tons of them. And when we asked him the other day, like, what do you focus on? He's making over $100,000 a month profit. He goes, what I'm focused on is how do I get my team to cost me less money? And I'm like, dude, why? Like, you have so many views. You have so many videos that blow up consistently, and they're all so profitable.
And he's at like 95% profit margin.
Yeah, he's at like 95% profit margin. I'm like, why are you trying to make your videos cheaper? And like, because that's what he was thinking. Like, my thought is, don't make your videos cheaper. Make it to where you create more channels. That way you're making even more money. And like, that's the exact same thing, guys. Like, even though these are 3 ways to fund for free, and we just shared with you guys the 3 ways to fund free, even though there's the 3 ways to fund for free, once they're working, you want to outsource and create the right team. Because you want to make sure that you're producing high quality videos.
You should be literally sprinting to where you can literally hire a team, and that's going to be way, way, way cheaper for you long term.
If within the first week you can do it, I would do it. Like, literally the moment you can afford to, hire the team. And guys, those were the 3 ways to fund for free. Once again, guys, if you are thinking about funding for free, I wouldn't watch the video once. I watch it multiple times over and over. Figure out what out of these 3 are the absolute best options for you. And we can't wait to see you guys fund your channel for free. And then once it's funded, now use the profits they're going to make from it to create an absolute empire of YouTube channels.
And one other thing, I want to add something in here at the end. When you guys start making money from this, don't go spend it on tons of different stuff. Literally just reinvest that into more channels, hire more teams, build out more teams, build your network, and you can grow so much bigger than you could ever expect just by doing that one thing.
That's the truth. Reinvest it back into channels. You guys have assets. Like, take the money. Like, best people in real estate, they don't make a bunch of money from real estate and then go spend it all. They make that money from real estate and then dump it more into real estate and then more into real estate over and over and over again. And once again, guys, you guys just watched the video. One thing I'm going to say, one of the most vital parts of this is the mentality you have. So make sure you guys go through the maximum wage mentality you have as a bonus. It's not the most sexy thing in here. Obviously, fund for free sounds unbelievable because, like, I can fund for free. I can make channel for free. YTA Masterclass sounds unbelievable because you're getting all these assets and this passive income. But guys, I can promise you, going through the maximum wage mentality that you guys get as a bonus of joining this is one of the most valuable parts. And make sure you guys go through it. And especially if you're going to be approaching an investor or even approaching team members you're hiring with equity, I would watch the Prestige Portrayal before. So it'll get you fired up. It fired me up when we were filming it. And guys, those are the 3 ways to fund for free. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.